Hey guys, it's Jeanette. I wanted to do a video on how I study for my exams in nursing school. Mind you, I've only taken 2 exams in my first semester of nursing school, and I've gotten a high B, and I actually aced and got bonus points for my second exam. So yeah, hopefully this is helpful for you. Maybe it'll give you an idea on what you can do or spike another idea in your brain, just to make sure that you are learning the material. And like I said before, don't get too fixated on the actual grade you get. If you know the material, that's what's most important. And especially as you learn the material, you need to make sure you know how to apply it. So let's just get to it. So in the beginning of the semester, they give you the syllabus, and they explain that this is pretty much the blueprint for the exam. So they told us to go ahead and in order to prepare for the exam, to look at the learning objectives that will be covered in the exam. So they also told us that you shouldn't be reading every word in the book, in the textbooks, that you should actually use them as a point of reference. So what I tend to do, I review, let's say for doing like the thorax and lung chapter. So what I'll do to prepare for the class, I'll skim through it, I'll read the headings, I'll read the first sentences, I'll highlight key terms, and I have a color system. So when I read, I only use orange and pink. So orange I would use for concepts or main ideas, and then the pink I would do highlight any facts or examples. And that I can quickly go back and just look for those 2 colors. And let's see. So as you can see, or maybe you can't see, so there's not a lot of highlighting, which is something that I've learned from my prereqs and the classes that I'm taking now. I try not to highlight the entire book. So that's just how I read. I read the tables in it, and especially the summary, and I try to do the questions. If it has anything that's teaching me how to do something, I actually do read those, because they're little steps that they're, wanting you to learn. So I do read those. I don't read the entire chapter because it's just a lot of words, but I do use it as a reference if when I am reviewing my objectives, if I don't know one, I'll go into my textbook, read that section, read that page or 2 pages, and then go back and try to answer these. So I actually do write my learning objectives in a Cornell note style, and I try to answer them even if I'm not too certain on the answer. I try to answer them, or at least leave a place in my notes to go ahead and include the right answer when the teacher gets to it during lecture. So this is just an example. So this is a Cornell notes, and I usually write the objectives there. And then let's say on this side, if she asks a question on something that we're discussing, I put it here, and you'll note that it's in purple. When I was doing my homework and reading, I would go in and try to fill in the answer. So when I go back, I just have this. So I have my objective, the information that I pulled out to answer that objective, and then any questions that my teacher asked regarding that specific section. So when I study, I look at the purple, I look at the left side. Are there any questions that they brought up, just to make sure that I know what to answer? And then quickly on the right side, I have the text that I got from the book when I was reading or when I was trying to answer the questions. So this really does help, just to make sure that you are getting all the key points when you are reading the textbook. You can, if you want to read the entire chapter, that's great. But if I look at my objectives, and if there's 20 of them and I can answer 20 of them, that means that I am getting the information. So that's good. Let's see. So just to recap, I do highlight the terms and key points, tables in my chapter, in my actual textbook. As I'm reading, I kind of go by the objectives and make sure that I look into those sections in the textbook just so I know that I can actually answer them. I try to answer them and print them in the Cornell note style and put it in my notebook, so when the lecture is going on and if there are any questions regarding a certain topic, I can write it down so I know that's something that may be on the exam. And going back to my highlighting system, like I mentioned, concepts is orange, any examples or facts, tables are in pink, and this is when I read. So these are the only two colors I use when I read. In lecture, I always pull out a purple pen and a purple highlighter, and that really helps if you actually take your own handwritten notes, just to differentiate between what the teacher expressed or stated or clarified. And as you can see, this is kind of our PowerPoint printed, and the purple is anything extra that the teacher said. So I only write in purple during my class. And if they tell us, oh, turn to page, I don't know, 200, there's a table there that you need to review, I'll probably do something like this. Circle the page number in purple. If there's a chart or something that they tell us, oh, you should definitely review this and know this entire page, I'll like make a little star next to it. I can't seem to find, oh, there we go. There you go. That's the health history form. So I put the page number in purple and I put a little star or a wannabe star there. And so if I'm going back into my textbook to clarify anything, let's say if there's an objective that me and my study group are not really on one page about, I'll go and look through that specific chapter, and let's say, oh, I've noticed there's a table that has a purple mark, so that means, hey guys, we should definitely look at this and not forget, because most likely it'll be something on the exam. So that's that. Let's see. And then when it's my time to really zone in, read the material over and over again, test myself, do I really know it? I came up with a new system, I guess, for me at least. And this is my binder that I use to hold, let's say, Unit 1 or Exam 1, all the materials here, so I can carry my light notebooks, and then I'll transfer the material as soon as we're tested into this big binder, so I can use just this one big binder to study for the final. So when I'm learning, let's say, this part right here, the top part, and I think I'm ready and I know it, I'll take out a sticky note and I'll ask myself, okay, what do I know about it? And I go ahead and write it on the sticky, and I just put it in that area, and I know I can move on. The good thing about this is, let's say if you've gone through your notes, you have written it down so you feel like you know it, then I'm ready to take them off individually. And you kind of, I just dropped Pepsi. You kind of make kind of flashcards actually out of the sticky notes. I tend to learn when I write and rewrite something over and over again. So this really does help me using sticky notes and writing what I'm studying for that moment. And so as I take them off, I'll read them. As I take them off, I'll read them. So it's kind of like, becomes kind of like a flashcard. And then I can go back now because they're sticky. I can go through each of them. Okay, and so you're kind of doing two things and benefiting in two different ways from writing it, and then if you're taking them off your paper, you're reading it, and then let's say if you want to just keep quizzing yourself, you have it in kind of this format. Just an FYI, for those that like flashcards, I hear that it may not be the best method for nursing school. So yeah, I know a classmate tried to do flashcards for the first exam, and that didn't really go so well, because it's more a critical thinking and application type of exam. It's not very, can you memorize this, like flashcard, but this helps because it has my little details and anything that can help me understand concepts. So I also utilize the books online resources. I think my previous video showed you guys, I don't know if all nursing books have these, but Mine specifically has the point, and you literally go in and sign up for an account. It has practice questions, some critical questions, some videos, animations, just more materials and resources for you to learn what you're actually reading, and that really helps for us. I really learn things when I get practice questions. I try it, I find out why I got it wrong, and then it also helps me find out what is the right answer. And you will get to know nursing exam questions are tough. You have to think a certain way, and for us it's all brand new, and the practice questions and reading the rationale really helps me just to solidify the information. So I definitely recommend you register for whatever free online resource that the book has. Sometimes they have it in like a CD or DVD format. It just depends on the publisher or the book. So that's that. I'm just going to recap. Make sure that you know how to answer your objectives. That's the blueprint. I'm not sure if your school has it. Maybe they will give you a different blueprint. Make sure you read the key terms and the tables, especially if there are any tables that explains how to do a certain skill in the chapters that are going to be covered. Take notes. I really say take notes in like a specific color just for teachers, just so you know what's important for them. And you can come up with your own system and your own coloring scheme if that's something you want to be interested in. Make sure you print the material before class so you can write on it. Sometimes teachers may have something and they just don't even go over it. So don't spend too much time on that when you're actually studying. Take notes while you are reading. If you can answer your objectives beforehand as you read the chapters, that will also help. So you have that as well. I really like this sticky note thing. As you learn and you try to see if you know it, write it down, keep writing it down until you have it down. And I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything else. Oh, the online resources, that's good. And a study group. Oh yes, I could not have done this without my study group. Get a good amount of people, and by good amount of people I really mean like 4 max, and make sure that they are the ones that are smart. Anyways, make sure that they are on the same level in the sense of they want to get an A, they want to study, they have the willingness to meet up at this certain time. There's nothing worse than having a study group that it's hard to just coordinate meeting times, etc. So if you find a good you know, a classmate or 2 that really want to ace nursing school and do your best, then that's good. Hang on to them. And I'll probably do a video on how we go through our study group sessions. It's important to have agendas and etc. So I hope you guys got something out of this. So if you have any tips that you are doing that you see are working, comment below. If you have any questions on what I do, feel free to comment below. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.